it is what it is. It's up every time I see him. I don't like, it is what it is at this point. But that's, so that, to talk about like one of my favorites, David West, Roy Hibbert, G Hill, Russ, obviously, Kawhi, obviously, Steven Adams, Lance Stevenson, all of these dudes played a huge, Lou Will, Pat Bev, you know, all of these dudes, you know, if I'm missing people, is Raymond Felton, you know, all of these dudes had impacts and influence on me. And, you know, I again, I'm not the person that, you know, I keep a relationship when I see you, cool, we pick up right where we left off, but I kind of keep to myself. I just know, like, I've had friendships, personal relationships with guys. It's one way, you get on the court, and I understand competing. Like, I know how to cut that on and turn it off, but then it's one thing, you build a relationship, then you get on the court and you start saying, wow, shit. Yeah. Damn, like, you always felt this way? You know what I mean? Like, and so that's, I understood, like, all right, certain people, I'ma just, because my feelings was hurt. Like, you hurt my feelings with that. You know what I mean? I thought we was tighter than what we was. And then we get between these lines and certain words is thrown out there that I didn't expect that from you.
Have you ever had that conversation, though? I think, have you ever told someone who you felt like you had that sort of relationship with, and once you got on the court, that changed? Have you ever like checked that? Because I'm a very, like, I need to know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a clarity person. Like, I don't necessarily care what you do as much as I care to know why you did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Have you ever had to have a conversation of like, hey man, I thought we was better than that. Like, what was that about?
Nah, for me it's like, cause again, I don't throw those words out there. Like I don't ever, all the shit that's going on, the moments, the pushing, the shoving, the confrontations on court always came from the other person, and I just respond naturally. So I've never thrown words out there. I don't use those words to talk about another man or to try to get in another man's head. Like, my game's gonna speak for it. I don't have to try to play games with you. And again, the CP situation everybody knows about. I was talking to CP, like, CP the reason I got LASIK. I was having trouble seeing. We under the same agency with CAA. I'm talking to CP, like, you know, and I would work out with CP in the summers. You know, we part of the reason Donovan Mitchell was in the league.
Yeah.
Obviously he was gonna be in the league before, but we kind of stamped like, bro, you need to come out. We were working with him, we were working out together. And it was a brotherhood that I thought was with CP. Again, bring up I was talking to him about the eye doctor. He put the stamp on him. Cool, got it done with the same doctor. And then we get into the series and the words get thrown out there. Hold on, like, what? Where this come from? So like, and that's just, again, I don't like talking about the situation. We had a moment this year where, we started mouthing off and words thrown out there again. It is what it is. It's up every time I see him. I don't like, it is what it is at this point. But those situations, I don't understand where some of it come from.
So it seems that Paul George is really hurt. It seems that Paul George is really in his feelings, because of whatever Chris Paul had said. Now he got me curious as to what Chris Paul had said. All right, but as a man, I think we all know, what the source of that pain probably would be. All right, it has got to be one of two things. It has to be either his mother or it's got to be his baby mom or his wife or whatever it is. Okay? I don't know who his baby mom is or wife, but maybe Chris Paul does, right? And this leads me back to when Carmelo Anthony and Kevin Garnett had an issue. All right, remember when I think it was Boston, they're playing a series against the Knicks, and Garnett said some wild stuff, and it came to the point where Melo was waiting outside because he wanted to go and handle whatever business. He was waiting outside the arena for KG to handle business. He clearly said that on his show. All right, so this thing, for some guys who really can't take this mental game or this very serious type of talk. It seems as though it really hits home, but it seems that there are certain kind of players, more old school players, who use this to their advantage. Right? You can tell that Paul George here is flustered. Right? And if he says that anytime he sees, CP3, it's on. So he wants all that smoke. So he's already in his feelings. So he's already lost. Okay? Whatever game CP3 was playing with him, okay, it's got into him. And he doesn't get, or whatever, I guess he's not mentally strong enough, all right, to be over this or to not let this bother him. Clearly. Okay? And this also goes back to a lot of people talking about Paul George and his state of mind, even going back to the bubble. Because remember, in the bubble, he said he was feeling depressed and all of this. And this is the reason why the Clippers, who were the odds-on favorite to win, they lost. And, all the amount of games he lose, like, people get injured or whatever. But I'm just saying, he had been called out many a time, all right, for the amount of games that he misses. And that even led him to, being just let go from the Clippers. All right. So this is a theme with Paul George. This whole mental thing. It seems as though it's kind of easy to rattle him. He's not it doesn't seem as though he's the most mentally strong person. All right. And he should really be able to see through like this. He must be at, year number 12 or 13. He must be able to see through all this and know that this is the part of the NBA. All right. That little bonding that he had in the off season. Okay. CP3, he's played how many years? 17, 18 years? And he's never won a title. So he's on the floor and you're in a series with him, buddy. He's doing whatever it takes. Okay, you're bonding. He's done that with, maybe 1,000 guys already. But he does not have an NBA championship. So if he can get you off your game, and you're, at that point, I figure he was on the Clippers. So you're one of 2 star players, and maybe even that series, Kawhi wasn't there. If he can rattle you and get you off your game, that's almost like a win. And if I remember correctly, it was a win for the Phoenix Suns. If it's that series I'm talking about, Phoenix Suns against the Clippers when they ended up going to the finals after beating the Clippers. So the job must have been well done, because I don't remember Paul George going off in any of those games or taking over that series at all. So the job must have been well done. Okay, so Paul George, I think Paul George is wrong here. Right, he just doesn't get it. Okay, the same way that back in the day, Carmelo didn't get it. KG did this just because of basketball. All right, like Paul George mentioned, he said, when it's not about basketball, everything is good. But when it comes down to the game, it gets super grimy. It gets grimy. That's because it's all about basketball. He's trying to do this to get you off your game. All right, if you're not doing this, and or number 2, you don't understand, there's something wrong and you're at a disadvantage. So I'm not with PG here. He's wrong. So that's about it. So until next.